So here I am at the U.S. Army Airborne School, Fort Benning, Georgia. I graduated from this school about 18 years ago, in 2005. And it basically looks the same from what I've seen, except over here, I don't know if you can see those buildings with the red roofs over there. I don't know how detailed this camera is on that. I'm pretty sure those are where the barracks were that we used to stay in. I was here for, it's a 3-week school. Yeah, I'm trying to get, I just got here, right? So I haven't been here in 18 years, and I'm pretty sure that's where we used to stay. But back when I was here 18 years ago, the buildings were like some condemned, like pre-World War II. Like I think they used them in World War I or something. That's how old they were. But anyway, that looks new. These are jump towers. These are, what is it? It's 250 foot, I think. What they would do is you'd have a deployed parachute, and they would pull you up to the top of that and then release you, and everybody would watch from down here. And it's, you know, it gets the idea of an airborne jump from 250 feet. When you jump into the plane, it's 1250 in school, and then combat, it's like 1,000 feet or 850 or whatever. All right, I'm gonna walk around and well, I think there might be class in session. I hear people talking and yelling over there. Over there, that's the plane mock-ups. Yeah, we'll get a closer look. I'm gonna turn this video off. We'll meet back in just a second. Oh, look at that. I was just talking about this. That was a dummy. There was no person in there. Yeah, those are not real people. Yep. So this is a mock-up of an airplane. I don't know if you could tell. That was a joke. So anyway, this is a C-130 mock-up. This is what we used to jump out of. There's no wings on it, obviously, but in real life there would be. And it had a propeller. And you would jump out of this door here. There's equal on the other side too, this one. So there's a, you know, left door, right door, port and starboard, whatever it is. This is a paratroop door right here. So, you know, you'd be flying through the air and you would jump out, and then you'd come out of the airplane. Sorry, I'm kind of like stumbling on my words because it's like bringing back all sorts of old memories from this school. And then I was in an airborne unit after I graduated. I went, you know, in the main army. I was up with 425 in Alaska. We used to jump out of airplanes there, like C-17s and things like that too, bigger airplanes. But yeah, this is crazy. Anyway, I'll take you on more tour of the training ground. Oh yeah, another thing too, so this track I'm walking on, this was like the PT track for like the PT test area. So I think it was like right over there where those guys are raking. We would do our initial PT test there on the first day, and then you'd run this track occasionally. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember how often we did it, but this was a running track. Like this was, oh yeah, and in the school you ran everywhere. There was like a no walking rule. Like you couldn't, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go take a piss or something, you couldn't just like walk to the latrine. You'd have to run there. And then when you would like go to like the next training area, which there's another one, the ground branch, it's like a mile away from here. You'd have to run there, and then you'd have to run back for like breakfast. You know, like it's like, hey, we'd start training at 5 in the morning or whatever, and it's like, you know, you'd run there and run back. I mean, you ended up probably running like fucking 12 miles a day, I think. minimum at this school. There's a lot of running involved. I was probably in the best shape of my entire life when I was at this school. I was 19 years old and, you know, running 12, 15 miles a day. Wow. I was talking to one of the instructors and he explained to me that these are the barracks that they use now for airborne trainees. And the barracks that I stayed in are long torn down, which makes sense because I think, I mean, correct me on the history, but I think Airborne School goes back to like 1941. And so those barracks were probably built in 1941. And that's like 80 years ago, 82 years ago. So they're pretty old. Anyway, it's a short school. It's 3 weeks long, so it's not that big a deal what you stay in, right? And yeah, this street looks a little different too. I don't know. It's like going back to your old college or something and being like, oh, you know, this is different. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel right now. I'm gonna go over here and we're gonna look at these jump towers, these 34-foot towers, and then I'm gonna hopefully get down to the airfield. We'll check that out. So this is the 34-foot tower. There's multiple ones, but this is a 34-foot tower. And the idea behind this, some really smart guy figured out a long time ago that your brain, once you get to 34 feet, it doesn't matter if it's 34 feet, 340 feet, 3,400 feet, or 34,000 feet. Your brain just goes, oh shit, that's fucking too high for me. Right? Like apparently at 33 feet, your brain goes, oh, I could make that. But at 34 feet, that's the determination that your brain decides that it's life-threatening if you were to jump off of that. So we would jump out of this tower, and if you can see the detail, there's a bunch of things connected to that wire, and then there's the you know, the wire goes all the way down there. And what would happen is you've got a mock static line or a mock parachute inside that you would attach to yourself, and then the inside, it looks kind of like an airplane. It's shaped like a door. It's to get your muscle memory and brain ready for jumping out of it. And you would you'd jump out of this, and then you'd fly down this wire down to that area over there, and you would land on those berms. There'd usually be somebody there to help like catch you, and you'd be flying. You'd be going like pretty fast. You know, like you're jumping out, and then you're like, ooh, wham, over there. And then you'd get out and you'd get in line and do it again. I don't know how many times that we would jump out of this 34-foot tower, but like a lot. Like the whole second week. No, wait, is it first week? No, first week of Airborne School is called Ground Week, where all you're learning to do is how to land properly, to do a PLF, a parachute landing fall. There's a proper way to land when you jump out of a military aircraft. And then the second week is all Tower Week, right? We're just jumping out of these towers and then those big towers over there. And the third week is you're jumping out of actual airplanes. So yeah, the whole second week is just jumping out of these over and over and over and over again, to the point that your brain is like no longer scared of heights. But I can tell you that it's not true, because I'm a big bitch, and I fucking am scared shitless of heights, like a lot. Still, I get scared on the second floor of a building. You know, I'm too scared of that. Anyway, I'll see what else we can find over here. So this is like a mock-up prep before you go in that tower. You have simulated cables here. So in the airborne world, it's not like skydiving where you pull a ripcord. Your parachute pulls for you, and you have what's called a static line that you would hook up to this cable. And as you get closer to the paratroop door, you hand off your static line to the jump master here, and then you jump out. I think I did that wrong. I wasn't trying to. Don't critique me on that. You know, it's been a while. And this is, you do this a bunch of times too, right? So this is more like ground week, but you're getting used to the idea of like simulated getting out of an airplane, mock drills, so to speak, over and over and over again, to a point where it becomes like a habit. Then you go to these towers, and then it becomes a habit, and then you go to the real airplanes. This is a C-130. It's a propeller airplane. The history of it, I think it's first started using it in Vietnam. It was a cargo plane, and then they turned it into a AC-130 Hercules, where it has like an artillery cannon on the back. And so it could be like flying around and shooting artillery. And then they decided they could also jump out of airplanes. So paratroopers come out. Let's see, we'll do a walk around. Yep. Wow. You want to know a fun fact about these? So with the C-17, that's a jet engine vehicle, aircraft, whatever. This is a propeller. You can see there's 4 propellers. So when you come out of the paratroop door, someone once asked me, like, what's jumping out of an airplane like? I said, it's like jumping into a vacuum cleaner. That's kind of like the best way to describe it. So you have this paratroop door, right? And this is different. Oh, this is a panel that's open. This is normally closed, right? So this would be flush, right? So you'd have this door, and you'd have these propellers right here, and you basically just stick your foot out, and the prop wash, which is the backblast from the propellers, literally just sucks you out. You know, I mean, it's like a space movie or something, like when the space shuttle gets breached and everything gets sucked out. Not that bad, but you basically just stick your foot out and it just sucks you out, basically. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, but yeah. Wow. And we'll go take a look at whatever that is. That looks like it's before my time. But anyway, C-130 rolling down the strip. 64 troopers on a one-way trip. Mission top secret, destination unknown. I don't even know if I'm ever going home. That's an old cadence we used to sing. All right, on to the next one. This is all the, it's a memorial of all the times that airborne operations were actually used in real world operations. So, looks like 18 of them total. These are the original ones. There's a quick, they've got plaques for all of them. I guess if you wanted to read these, you could pause the video. But that's D-Day, for those of you who don't know. I consider myself somewhat of a little D-Day historian. June 6th, 1944, Operation Overlord. If you've seen the TV show Band of Brothers or the movie Saving Private Ryan, that's what D-Day is. Anyway, let's go take a look at this. I don't even know what this is called, because this is, I'll be honest with you, this is way before my time. This looks like some really, really old airplane. Yeah. Well, let's take a look. Anyway, I don't even know what this thing's called. If you know what it's called, put it in the comments. You know? Anyway, let's go look at that World War II. What is it called? A C... I don't remember. C something. We'll go check it out. I just missed those guys jumping out of the tower. Let's see if we can catch it again. I don't know how good the definition is on the distance here, but it looks like they're getting ready to have some people jump out. I guess I can edit this later, or I could save battery. Let's see what we can do. This is the original C something. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, whatever. This is in World War II. This was the original. It was a cargo plane. And if you've seen Band of Brothers or read books about D-Day, this is the same type of airplane that they used to jump paratroopers into France during World War II, and Operation Market Garden in Holland, and you know, Salerno in Italy. C-47. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, the C-47, this thing, this is the original. It's the original airborne delivery device. Also, fun fact, in the invasion of Normandy, not only did they send a metric fuck ton of these airplanes to France, but they also towed gliders that had glider infantry regiment, not paratroopers. I mean, I think they were airborne qualified, but they weren't jumping in this occasion. They were hooked in on a glider with like a cable, and they would detach the cable over you know, an area, and then the glider would glide in and land, like, you know, like an open field or something in France, and then that, you know, the troopers would just get out on foot, and it was more of like a stealthy entry and things like that. The glider infantry regiment. Anyway, let's see what's happening over here. There's some activity in that tower. Looks like they might be jumping soon. We'll come back. And there you go. And you would do this over and over and over and over and over again until you were no longer scared of heights. Now they're gonna go eat. It's like a, I don't know, like maybe like a five-minute run to where they're going. Once they clear out of here, we'll I keep saying we, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go to those ground training areas. One of the instructors told me that I could check it out once they went to lunch because he didn't want me interfering with class. So that's what we're gonna go do. We're gonna go check that out. Yeah, let's go run a mile and then eat lunch. Sounds like a fun time. So this is the swing landing trainer. The way it works is, I don't know what that platform is, like 12 feet off the ground, I'm not sure. And anyway, you'd be up on these platforms and you connect it in with like a mock parachute suspender thing, and you would just jump off into that gravel pit. And it's just supposed to get you ready for landing. You're training on how to land properly. The parachute landing fall, PLF is what it's called. And also getting used to just jumping off of high things. So anyway, that's what I came over to look at. We're gonna go over there too. That's the PT pit, where they do the PT test, and there's a thing called the 41 Club. We'll talk about that another time.